Hey, what's going on, guys? It's FPL Yusuf here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be bringing you guys something a little bit different. It's something that I haven't done before, and we're just going to try it out for today just to see how we get on. So this one is going to be almost like a game week recap every Sunday morning. That's my plan, at least, anyway. So we're going to just sort of do this live. You're going to see everything as it in real time. You know, every sneeze, every cough, every lapse of word. You're going to just see it all. So my aim for this series is just to try and do it early Sunday morning, just to recap any Friday night games that have happened, any Saturday games that have happened, and just basically just go through each individual match, bit by bit. I'll probably spend like maybe 2-3 minutes on each game because I don't really want to spend too long, so you guys have to like an hour-long video. But we're just gonna go over some like different stats, some different graphs, and XG. I've got a few websites that really in depth in terms of football stats. So yeah, we're just gonna try this week and just see how it goes. So I'm gonna show you guys. Obviously, you'll be seeing my screen. So apologies if I'm always looking down at my screen. But yeah, so we're going to just start off with how my team have got on this week. And actually, it's actually been quite a good game week, to be fair. We're on 51 points, as you guys can see on screen now. So we've had, obviously, the biggest return was from Erling Haaland, 32 points, 2 goals, an assist. Massive captaincy haul. Well done, by the way, if you triple captained him. It was looking like it was going to be a little bit of a failure this week, but obviously the 2 goals in the 90th minute really did change that. The Bournemouth duo of Senesi and Semenyo, both 7-pointers, massive for us. Obviously, Man City lost their clean sheet along the way. If I can just show you here. There we go. So, yeah, obviously, Man City lost their clean sheet, which means Donnarumma lost his. A little bit unfortunate, actually, by the way that game panned out. Romero as well, losing his clean sheet last night to Wolves. It was a poor mistake from the goalkeeper. So this game week could have been a little bit better, but obviously there's only one place that I'm going to start, and that is the man there you can see on screen who's currently in a minus, and that is Bruno Fernandes, because how different this game and his points could have been this week. I want to show you guys now. So we'll just take a look. So as you can see here, 90 minutes for playing, of course, as we expect. Penalty missed and a yellow card, which put him into minus. This game, we're gonna start off with Brentford and Man United first, but I just want to show you him as a player. He finished on, you can see it there, I'm circling it now, 11 DEFCONs. He was 1 away from getting the DEFCON points. He had a penalty. So this is how fine margins can happen in FPL. So, he's currently only owned by 21% of the game. So if he hauls, it's a major, major boost. Now, the reason why we pick Bruno Fernandes a lot of the time is, one, because he's very good for DEFCON points, as we can see here, but 2, because he's on penalties. And the way this game was going, I'm going to dive into the stats in a minute and just show you exactly how Man United played. But the way this game was going was, he wasn't really involved in the game, and all it took, if he scored that penalty, is 5 points for the goal, 2 points for playing, that's 7. If he gets one more DEFCON, that's another 2 points, which is 9. Thiago scored 2 on them, so he'd probably end up on 2 bonus points, which would put him on to 11. So he's gone from a 11-point potential, which if had he scored the penalty, that's what he probably would have got, obviously with the extra DEFCON, and he's ended up on -1 points. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm just going to show you guys my live rank at the moment. So we are on a green arrow. We're up by 7 points. Obviously, we do have 4 players to play tonight. We've got the double Arsenal defense, and we've got Victor Gyökeres today. And of course, we've got Mr. Jarrod Bowen tomorrow, currently only owned by like 4.6%, which is fantastic. So we've moved up about 600,000 spaces, give or take. 51 points currently, as I said. So yeah, overall, it's been a good start to the game week. Like I said, a few disappointing things, but I can't really complain too much. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump straight into the Manchester United and Brentford game first. So I'm going to leave a link to these websites that I'm using down below. This first one is called Understat, and they're very, very good for like graphics, visuals. So we'll take a quick look at how they got on today, or yesterday, should I say. So as you can see from the stats on terms of like XG, it was actually fairly close. Like Brentford had 2.79, Man United had 2.24. But I think the real thing you can see here with Brentford is, this side is Brentford, is that their shots were all, you can see a lot of them. Like the goal there was, just at the edge of the 6-yard box. This one was inside the box as well. So Brentford were making chances in and around that central area. Man United had a few odd chances here. Obviously, the Sesko goal, as you can see there, did come from inside the 6-yard box. But a lot of long shots, a lot of pop shots, as you see there, 0.2, 0.3 XG. Really low opportunities here. So Man United not really working the ball in as much. Obviously, that was Bruno Fernandes' penalty, which was saved. But yeah, it was a little bit frustrating. So we can see from here, from Brentford's players, obviously Thiago was the standout man here with 0.93 XG, got himself 2 goals. The other goal scorer was Matthias Jensen with 0.05. So it really was a low XG chance. We take a look at Man United on the other hand. Benjamin Sesko actually averaging 2.17 XG in that game. So if there is somebody out there who actually owns Benjamin Sesko, maybe you could feel a little hard done by. But obviously he got himself his first goal. take a look at the charts, right? So for this one, you can see how Man United started this game. So Man United, the yellow line there, as you can see, and for that first sort of 25 minutes, they were completely flat. And obviously, it's costing the game because you can see Brentford on the opposite hand, way up there. You know, you can see that they started very high, 2-0 up. They were 2-0 up inside the first 20 minutes, got off to a flying start. Obviously, Sesko did get his equaliser in the 25th minute, as you can see from there, 0.66 shot XG. But then Man United just flatlined again, and it was just, this is the thing with them, is that you just never feel confident by owning anyone other than Bruno Fernandes, because even after getting the goal, you would expect their trajectory to go all the way up, but they didn't. They just sort of flatlined and just plateaued out until the 75th minute, where obviously they started to then have to push for it. But it just, by then it's almost too little too late. And then obviously Brentford got the final goal, which was nailed in the coffin last minute. So yeah, overall, I think, you know, if we're talking about Man United assets, especially from the defensive side of things, they are an absolute just stay away. Like, I don't think there's any reason you'd want to go anywhere for the defense. I'm going to just show you guys on this website here. There's this called FBREF. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I'll just show you on here. So if we take a look at their clearances, so as you can see, Man United, clearances, 30 clearances as a team, 18 aerial one, 4 interceptions, 16 tackles. So if you're looking for DEFCON, as we'll go back to here and we'll have a look on Manchester United themselves, it did get spread around quite a bit. And obviously that's due to because the defense, they're spending a lot of time defending him in a lot of different games. So, but the problem with them is that they haven't got one commanding centre back. Like Liverpool have got Van Dijk, who's wrapping up the defensive contributions. Bournemouth has Senesi. Man United, on the other hand, Bruno's leading the way. Obviously, De Ligt's got it, but as you can see, it's split between everyone else. Obviously, Ugarte 9, Cunha 8, Dorgu 7. So they're all getting the DEFCON, but no one's actually getting enough to hit the actual standard, other than obviously De Ligt yesterday. Fernandes fell one short. So yeah, overall, I think Man United are probably just a complete avoid unless you've got Bruno Fernandes in your team. But other than that, Brentford on the other hand, maybe you could look at Igor Thiago. He is potential. I think, you know, if you really are looking for a budget option, then, you know, maybe at 6 million, I think he's priced at. It's not too bad. But the stats were actually, ironically, quite even, fair, and like for the most part. Obviously, Brentford held more possession. They are at home. Man United don't really seem to hold a lot of possession in any games. XG was fairly similar. Brentford just edged it. Shots on target. Man United had more shots. Brentford had more on target. So it was actually quite an even game overall. Maybe Man United could feel a little bit unlucky from it. But this is the thing with them, is that they never seem to kick on. So yeah, in terms of assets, I think Bruno Fernandes is the one. But other than that, if you look at the team, there's just no one really. I mean, Brandon Mbeumo, Mateus Cunha, Sesko could become that at some point, but right now we're just seeing nothing that is going to warrant that. So yeah, that is the Man United game. A little bit unfortunate for all of us who own Bruno Fernandes, but you know, these things happen. So the next game we're going to jump into, we will go to, let's have a look. Which one should we go to next? We'll go to, let's do the, we'll just follow it in order. We'll do Chelsea and Brighton. So as we can see on here, obviously Enzo Fernandez got his goal. I was gutted about that because obviously I did transfer him out last week on my wild card. Danny Welbeck coming off the bench, 2 goals. De Kuiper, a goal. Minte, yet again, another return. We're going to talk about him in a second. When we take a look at DEFCON, Van Hecke hitting it. Caicedo falling one short, but no one on Chelsea really getting in and around that. It's Moises Caicedo pretty much every week. So let's take a look at this one in more detail for the Chelsea-Brighton game. Again, XG fairly similar. Obviously, Chelsea, yet again, another red card, which is probably just costing the game, to be honest with you, because as you can see from the XG here, Brighton, okay, obviously edged it, but that's because they played sort of like 40 minutes with, you know, against 10 men. You see Trevor Chalobah there got sent off in the 55th minute. But this Chelsea team is just, they really do struggle without Cole Palmer. And I think all of those who had, you know, João Pedro on their team, without Cole Palmer, I just don't really know if he's actually worth it, because it's just, there's no real creativity. Obviously, Chelsea started off the game stronger with the goal here, 0.9 XG chance. But as you can see from their shot map here, they had 2 chances in the box. One was the goal, and the other one came in the 102nd minute, where Enzo Fernandez, right at the end. If you just see the rest of them, they're all just, look, 0.2, 0.07, 0.04, 0.02, 0.05. It's really bad from Chelsea. And the thing is, Chelsea started this game very quickly. So if I show you the charts here, they got off to a very, very quick start in this game. Obviously, Enzo getting the goal in the 23rd minute. But as you see their trajectory there, they kicked on. Unlike Man United, you know, they started very quickly. They got off to a fast start, whereas Brighton just completely flatlined until sort of half an hour. Then they started to pick it up a little bit, as you can see. But then, you know, as the game went on, Chelsea didn't really create much more. The red card came just about here in the 55th, 56th minute. And then obviously, as you can see, just when they went down to 10 men, it just completely one straight flat line. Obviously, Brighton got the goal of Danny Welbeck, and they just kicked on after that. 90th minute goal there, now another 90th minute goal there. So I think overall, that red card probably did cost Chelsea a lot. I think if you're looking at Chelsea assets to invest in, other than João Pedro, just because of his price, but even him, I'm not 100% sure. And I spoke about it last week in my wildcard video about going for someone else like a Jarrod Bowen over him, which obviously I did this week. Moises Caicedo, I think, is a fine hold. I think he basically has a baseline of 4 points because he's going to get. I think for 30 to 32, 33 games of the season, you're going to see DEFCON with him. Enzo Fernandez, again, same thing. If he was playing in the 10 all the time, he would be a fantastic asset. And the reason why I got rid of him last week is because obviously usually he pivots with Caicedo in the midfield. So for me, it was just kind of like I didn't really like his upside, but obviously him as number 10, that's a completely different story. Brighton, on the other hand, I think it's too difficult to get on a Brighton asset. I think other than Van Heck, Dunk, and Verbruggen, I think everybody else in that team has got an opportunity to be rotated. Mintet is an interesting one because this guy, again, 90 minutes, as you can see from him, never really seems to hit that big boy point haul. It's always either a goal, which gets him 6 points because he's not really that great for bonus, an assist that gets him 6 points. He's always in and around the 5 to 7 point mark, but he's never really double-digit hauls. And I think it's such a shame because I think he is a wonderful, wonderful player. So if we take a look at the stats, obviously Chelsea are going to be low down on possession because of obviously the red card. In terms of shots, very, very even. You see Brighton 12, Chelsea 13. Both had 3 shots on target. Brighton scoring all of them, Chelsea only scoring 1. So it was actually, on the grand scheme of things, it was a close game. And I think without that red card, a draw probably would have been fair, but I just don't think you can invest in Chelsea assets right now, especially the likes of Cucurella, Reece James. It looked like he pulled up with a hamstring yesterday. He was clutching it towards the end. So just for me, I think if you're going to invest in Chelsea, Moises Caicedo is fine. 5.6 million is very, very good. If you're going to look at the attacking options, Cole Palmer, when he comes back, could be an alternative, but I think João Pedro is probably going to be the one that a lot of people are going to be on, obviously because of his price point. If we take a look at Chelsea here, we'll have a look at their DEFCON and their clean sheets, and you'll see exactly why I just don't think that they are that good of a team to sort of invest in. Oh, no, not that one. That is Crystal Palace. We want Chelsea. Here we go. So, yeah, if we have a look here. So, this is exactly why I look. Single-digit clearances, single-digit area one, single-digit interceptions, 21 tackles across the game. It's not good enough. And, if you're relying on DEFCON from players, these type of players here they're just not going to get you it that often. Obviously, Cucurella has the upside of an attacking threat, but I think if for him, I would probably wait till game week 9 because I will show you guys. Let's take a look and see what Chelsea's fixtures are looking like from game week 9. So, as we can see here, game week 9, they play Sunderland, Tottenham, Wolves, Burnley. So they have a real nice 4-run period. Even if you discount the Arsenal game, Leeds, Bournemouth is okay, Everton's okay. So game week 9 is basically when you'd want to own them from. But for right now, I think I would actively be looking to completely avoid from the Chelsea assets. Brighton, again, same thing. There's too much rotation there. I think it's just too much of a headache. Maybe you could look at Minter if you're looking for a cheap midfielder, but on the grand scheme of things, I probably wouldn't even look at Brighton assets right now. Okay, so next up on the list, what fixture have we got next? What should we do? Okay, the big one, Crystal Palace against Liverpool. Now, this game was insane. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend to go and watch the highlights. It was crazy. So let's take a look at DEFCON first. Lacroix, just once again, man, this guy is just so good. There was a lot of DEFCON in this game. Gahey, Richards, and Lacroix, all 3 of them hit it. Liverpool, Virgil van Dijk, Konate both hitting it as well. Soboslai getting there. Tariq Mitchell, Gravenberch, 1 away. It's Munoz nearly hit it as well. So this just from the DEFCONs, I'm sure you can see how insane this game was. So obviously Crystal Palace won 2-1. Ismail Assar, Eddie Nketiah both getting goals. Let's take a look at their shot map. This is what I really want to show you guys because it is actually, if you own Mateta, I think you should feel very unlucky. So as you can see there from the XG, both teams had above 3, which is, it just goes to show you how crazy this game was. So let's take a look at Crystal Palace's shots first. As you can see here, so many shots inside the box. And I just want to show you, I don't know if it was shown here, Mateta. Where is he? Mateta. Here we go. Mateta come back with a 0.91 XG. Now, he had an insane shot, which is from here. As you can see there, he hit the post. Was it this one or was it this one? Which one was it? He hit the post from, I think it was this one. He hit the post from way up from a 0.03 XG, but it was an incredible strike. And I think if you own him, he had a one-on-one chance, which I think was this, where was it? He had a one-on-one chance very early on in the game. was it this one? This one here, I think. 0.32 XG, which, you know, he probably should have buried, but it was a really, really entertaining game. And I think Crystal Palace just showed, you know, the fact that they are on an 18-game unbeaten run, that their assets, no matter what game they are in, they are going to be a threat. So we'll take a look at the chart. As you can see here, Crystal Palace just flying start. 11 minutes in, they already had, you know, 1.33 total XG. Obviously, Ismail Assar got the early goal. Liverpool just could not get it going. And even when they did get it going, it took them all the way until the 87th minute before they actually hit, you know, an XG where they actually scored Federico Chiesa. But of course, it wasn't enough because Eddie Nketiah, 96th minute, you know, unmarked at the back post, just hit it home. Stats-wise, you can see there, possession, Crystal Palace actually, you know, held more. But look at the shots, 16 to 20. 7 on target for Palace, 4 on target for Liverpool. Just insane numbers here. Liverpool assets, I think, would I be worried if I owned Mo Salah? Probably. Obviously, he's at getting 90 minutes, which is interesting. And, you know, I don't think a lot of us had probably expected. I think if Ekitike hadn't got sent off in the midweek, I don't think Isak probably would have ended up playing 90. But, you know, he's proven his fitness now. Florian Wirtz, yet again, you know, another disappointing performance. If you've got him, please just get rid of him. He's never guaranteed to start, but also he's just not performing when he is starting. Szoboszlai, you know, hit DEFCON, of course. I do like Dominic Szoboszlai. I just wonder where he's going to play. Like, you just want to know where he's going to play. Obviously, Mo Salah, again, another blank. Let's just take a look at what Mo Salah actually managed to get in terms of XG for this game. So let's have a look, see if we can find him. Mo Salah, here he is. So for this game, 0.49 XG, 0.04 XA. Maybe a bit unfortunate, just because of how good Salah is as a finisher. You'd probably expect him to come away with a goal with those stats. But Liverpool overall, defensively, again, looking very poor. Could have been a lot more if it wasn't for Alisson, to be honest with you. I think he ended up with 5 saves in this game here. So let's take a quick look at that. But yeah, I think for me, if you're somebody who, you know, is looking at Liverpool assets, or, you know, you're wildcarding for game week 8, for me, it's very difficult to go to them now. Yeah, Alisson, 5 saves. Gravenberch somehow got a 3 bonus point. Obviously, got the assist again. Be wary of that, because I think I've seen a lot of people talking about bringing Gravenberch in, but he is getting attacking returns right now. Maybe it will carry on, but I think he is overperforming ever just so slightly. We'll take a look at everyone's DEFCONs on this, because Crystal Palace, I do want to talk about in this, is that their DEFCONs is their defense is just so good for clean sheets. Like, they don't really concede that many goals, but also we take a look at their clearances and stuff here. Yeah, look at this: 33 clearances, 11 aerials won, 11 interceptions, 25 tackles. It's double digits for everything. But also in the same breath, Liverpool again, look, 30 clearances, 22 aerial won, and most of them will be Virgil van Dijk. So if you are looking for a Liverpool defender, I think especially from game week 12 is when their fixtures swing. Van Dijk has to be top of that list. You know, most people probably be transitioning one Arsenal defender out for a Liverpool man. I think, you know, Van Dijk will be that Liverpool asset. So, yeah, as you can see from there, Crystal Palace, Liverpool defenders, especially the centre halves, very, very worth it. It's just, this was one of those games that was just really end to end. And I think it was just, you know, like I said, if you own the likes of Mateta, you could feel very unlucky. Also, one thing I just want to pick up on this, I noticed yesterday, if we look at the shots from here, Adam Wharton, now, maybe someone just keep an eye on, look, this one here, Adam Wharton assist. There was no Adam Wharton assist. So, Adam Wharton assist. So, as you can see, if Crystal Palace had a little bit better finishing, Adam Wharton probably would have racked up a few. I just want to take a quick look at his stats, actually, because I don't actually know how much Adam Wharton is on this. Let's take a look. Wharton, let's see. So he clocked up a 0.44 XG. The game before that, 0.51 against West Ham, which he actually did get an assist. Didn't play in the Sunday game, obviously he was injured. How much is he? He's 5 million. At 0.4% owned, I don't mind it. Let's see, was he DEFCONs? 6. That's the only problem with him, is that DEFCONs, he's probably not going to get you that many. But just as a slight, if you're looking for an alternative for like a stack or someone like that, I don't actually mind Adam Wharton, because his passing's very, very smart. And like I said, on another day, he probably walks out of here with sort of 1 or 2 assists from this game. So, yeah, overall, I think just speaking on assets from both teams, Crystal Palace defense, very nice. If you are looking for a striker, maybe, you know, there comes a point where you've got a wild card, maybe you don't want João Pedro anymore. I think Mateta is a fine hold, just regardless of whoever they're playing. Liverpool, on the other hand, Van Dijk for the defense is probably the only one I'd be looking at. The attack is just, it's too uncertain. As we can see, so from the way Liverpool started, Vert started on the left, Szoboszlai in the middle, Salah on the right. Cody Gakpo came on for the last half an hour. Obviously, they made a change to, I think they bought off Curtis Jones for him. So I think Jones came off, and I believe No, it wasn't Curtis Jones that came off. Someone got subbed off. Oh, I think maybe Connor Bradley. Maybe I think it was Connor Bradley. Soboslai went back to right back. Verts moved into 10 and Gakpo went on the left. But they're just too uncertainty with minutes, and especially once Ekitike is obviously back from suspension, it'd be very interesting to see what happens with him and Isak. So I think from game week 12, if we just take a look at Liverpool's fixtures very quickly, let's just find Mo Salah because I don't actually have any Liverpool in my team. Oh, can't spell him. So we take a look at Mo Salah here, fixtures. So obviously Chelsea, Man United, Brentford from 9 is decent, Aston Villa from 10 is decent, Man City is obviously the tough one, but then look at this, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds, Brighton, Tottenham, Wolves, Leeds again. It's just, even Fulham, it's just, for an 8-game run, it's incredible. And I think a lot of us will probably want to have at least one defender from there, i.e. Van Dijk, but also there'll probably be a way or like want to try and move back to Mo Salah as well. So yeah, keep an eye out from that. Okay, the next game, Leeds against Bournemouth. Now, this one here was, for the assets that are owned in this game, very, very good. So, obviously, a lot of people have Joe Rodon, who I ironically sold last week. A lot of people have Senesi, got himself an assist. Semenyo with another goal. As we can see here, Defcons, yet again, Senesi, that makes 6 out of 6 from him. Got Defcons in every single game. Diakite hit Defcons. Truefair hit Defcons, excuse me. Longstaff hit it. Stroik hit it. So, again, another game where, Semenyo was on his way to hitting it. So another game where it was sort of end-to-end, back and forth. So let's just take a look at the stats on this one. Like I said, assets did really well on this. Bournemouth, very low XG, actually, compared to what they actually did. Let's take a look at here. Let's bring them up on this one and just have a look at them. Where are they? Bournemouth. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Let's have a look. Yeah, look at that, 0.9 XG, very, very low from Bournemouth, but obviously Semenyo is a very, very good finisher, to be fair to him. Clearances, this is exactly why Senesi is getting his DEFCON every game. 31 clearances, 23 tackles, 17 aerials, 1. It's just insane. Leeds, on the other hand, as well, same thing, decent stats. If you own the likes of Goodmanson, Rodon, they'll be good for bonus points in DEFCON. They'll hit it for most of the games this season. Leeds 2xG, not too bad in total. I think I've seen a lot of people talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If we take a look at him, he obviously had 3 chances in this box here. 0.3 XG, 0.29, 0.14. Not bad. And like the positions he's getting shots from are fairly decent. So if you're looking for a cheap striker, I think, yeah, definitely 100%. I do like it. Rodon, as you can see here, does get himself the odd opportunities from this. Take off Calvert-Lewin here and just have Joe Rodon. Yeah, see, he does, look, corner. So he's a bit of a threat from set pieces, to be fair, Joe Rodon. On the other side, Antoine Semenyo, let's take a look at him, see how he did. Ironically, only 1 shot in this game which he scored from. It was from a free kick from 0. That's actually incredible. But this is what Semenyo does. Obviously, Kluivert started this game. Let's take a look at what he did in this game. Nothing. Okay, so Justin Kluivert didn't do anything. The big worry about this one when I saw him on the team sheet is Semenyo still going to get penalties? But obviously, he only played an hour, got subbed off. Semenyo just so good for those 90-minute finishes. Like I said, he was on the way to DEFCON as well, which he will hit in some games. But overall, yeah, I like it. Marcos Senesi, we'll take a quick look at him. Again, okay, he had no chance. Somehow he got an assist from somewhere. Let's take a look. Which one was it? Was it this one? Let's take a look. Was it this one? Yeah, this is the one. 92nd minute, 0.45. That's where he got the assist. So yeah, overall, I think both players from both assets are fine. If we take a look at the chart here, a little bit of a slow start, first 15 minutes, probably a little bit of a cagey one. Bournemouth did get their goal first, ironically, despite the fact Leeds had a very high jump in XG. Obviously, Semenyo scoring from a very low XG. Then they sort of plateaued out. Leeds got the equaliser. They then kicked on to obviously get the goal. So I think the one thing I've noticed about promoted teams this year is that they are giving as good as they get. They are giving teams games. I think I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 of them could genuinely make a case for staying up this season. We're going to talk about Burnley in a minute because I think out of all 3 of them, they're probably the ones that might suffer a little bit. But Bournemouth never really got going in this game by the looks of things. Obviously, they got their last minute equaliser. A little bit unfortunate for Leeds actually by the looks of things. But yeah, overall, I think the assets that we own from Bournemouth, Senesi's in there for the DEFCON, Semenyo's in there because if they are going to score, he's such a big part of that. So yeah, overall, pretty happy with how that is. Right, let's do the Manchester City game next, I think, because that is the big one that we all want to talk about. Erling Haaland, 2 goals. Doku, this was a man I spoke about, and I didn't go for him, but he's looking very, very good for Manchester City. So let's just take a look. Excuse me. Let's just take a look at his stats in particular first. Before we get on to Erling Haaland, obviously look at the XG, man. It's 3 XG for Man City, 0.51. little bit unfortunate for, you know, Donnarumma and anyone who owned City clean sheets like myself. Estev, 2 own goals is insane. So let's take a look at first, who are we going to look at? We were going to look at Jeremy Doku. So Doku here, shot. Obviously got the assist to Erling Haaland right there. And Haaland, yet again, look at this. Where is it? This one. Yeah, look, here we go. Open play goal, Erling Haaland, Doku assist. Haaland, yet again, open play goal. Just getting shots after shots after shots. And it's just, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots in this game. And this is what he does. He's got the most shots in the Premier League so far. His XG for this game was 1.74. So the fact that he's got 2 goals, not really a surprise. Doku's expected assist, 0.62. So maybe overachieved a little bit. I think one of the chances, which one was it? Was it this one? This one here, 0.49 XG goal from Erling Haaland. So yeah, Doku maybe a little bit fortunate, but has got 90 minutes. I think my biggest thing with Doku is just he plays 90 minutes now, but you just never know with him, and you never know with Pep in particular. That's the problem. So let's take a look at the graph. Obviously, you know, Burnley just flatline for the first 30 minutes. Obviously, earlier own goal to concede, which at the Etihad is never a good idea. If you're gonna go to the Etihad, you've got to try and hold up for as long as you can. But they did take them that long to get the equaliser. After about 50 minutes later, they got the equaliser. Man City came back 60th minute. Obviously, got the goal. Estev again, just, you know, shortly after, it was in the space of 5 minutes, a goal for Man City from Nunez, and then obviously the own goal, and then obviously right at the end, Erling Haaland, 89th minute, 92nd minute. 0.54 XG, 0.44, and that's just how good of a finisher Erling Haaland is. Stats wise, Man City just 93% of chances, 21 shots to 9. I don't think any of us ever expected Burnley to get anything from it. Obviously, you know, the way they played against Liverpool a couple of weeks ago shows that they can defend deep. But if we take a look at here, the clearances. I think this is the only saving grace that Burnley have got. And maybe this is why Man City defenders, not so much Donnarumma, but the defenders aren't on viable option. If you see Man City here, 19 clearances, 10 aerials won, only 4 interceptions, 8 tackles. So if you're owning a Man City defender like a Ruben Diaz, a Gavardio, maybe Aït-Nouri when he comes back, Man City never really hit up high numbers, whereas Burnley, on the other hand, 30 clearances, double digits for everything, tackles, interceptions. So the likes of Estev, let's see how many points he got. I don't actually think he did that bad, despite the fact that he had 2 own goals, which usually is not a good thing, right? Usually, so he ended on -2, but for the fact that he's conceded 2 own goals, you know, he obviously hit DEFCON, which well, basically cancels out one of them. So yeah, DEFCON is just such a big thing, and this is why personally, for me, I wouldn't be owning Manchester City defenders. Donnarumma is a different story. Obviously, as a goalkeeper, I do expect him to be making saves in games because Man City do give up the odd chance. And obviously, if Man City do keep a clean sheet and he's made saves, we're probably looking at bonus points. So yeah, that is the overall. I think Man City assets, you know, Haaland, of course, we're going to own him. Tijani Reinders at his price point. Let's just take a quick look at Tijani Reinders. Did he hit any shots away today? He did. Let's take Haaland off. He did. He got 3 shots off, all from outside the box, and 1 from really far out. So I think with Tijani Reinders, we're hoping that he more gets involved here inside the area, sort of 6-yard box, sort of a box crasher type midfielder. And obviously, if he can pick up assists along the way, that's a nice little asset to own. So yeah, that covers the Burnley game. I think we're on to our penultimate one now, which will be Sunderland versus Forest. Well, I won't spend too long on this because I think a lot of people would have transitioned away from, you know, the Nottingham Forest players in particular. Elliot Anderson hitting DEFCON as he always does. Let's take a look at their stats and their graphs on here. Nottingham Forest and Sunderland. Sunderland 1.94, a team that's going very under the radar. Now, this guy here, Omar Alderate, him and Nordi Mukiele, excuse me, it's very early in the morning right now. I'm having recording this. I think it's about 7:15 right now. So yeah, very early in the morning. But these two here are very, 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 very much under the radar. Let's take a look at the DEFCONs. Did they hit it this week? Yeah, so as you can see here, Alderete got his DEFCON. Mukiele was 1 away from it. Xhaka, another one who we need to talk about because just he goes so much under the radar. Again, if you're looking for the 5 billion midfielder like Stack, he's on set pieces for them. He hits DEFCON so much as well. And I do like him as a pick if you are looking differential because I don't actually think he's that high. He can't even be that highly owned. Xhaka, he is 3% owned versus Stack, who I don't think Stack's that high owned either, or 2.9, so he's about the same anyway. But if you're just looking for someone completely different, I really do like Granit Xhaka. If we take a look at their clearances and stuff, you'll see exactly why they are just so good. Where are they? Where are we? Not in Forest. Here we go. So we'll take a look at them because obviously Mukiele and Alderete, I think it's how you say it. Look at that, 45 clearances, 45. 13 aerial, 1, only 6 interceptions, 10 tackles, but 45 clearances. This is exactly why they are so good for DEFCON, because they just clear everything. And do you know what? They will get games like this along the way where they get the odd clean sheet. Let's just take a look at the highest score. Someone must have had them. Yeah, look at that, 17, and that's not the first time. Remember, if we remember back from Daniel Ballard in game week 1, he got 17 points for Sunderland. So these Sunderland defenders in odd games are going to be very, very good to have. Keeper as well, same thing. So yeah, definitely, I think if you're looking for a differential, if you're not looking to go for the Burnley defender, maybe you don't want to go for a Joe Rodon, Alderete or Mukiele for Sunderland are 100% viable options. Nottingham Forest, I think it's just complete. Just avoid everyone. We take a look at the charts here. Forest are the ones in blue, just flatline. Never really got going until the 82nd minute. So a lot of that game was just, kind of letting Sunderland do their thing. Sunderland obviously got the goal just before half time. They did kick on a little bit afterwards. Excuse me. They obviously nearly hit 1xG. By the end of the game, had a chance very late on at the end. But yeah, Nottingham Forest, I would be worried about. If you have got them, if you've kept Matt Sells or you kept Milenkovic or whoever for this game, completely just get rid of them now. If we take a look at the stats here, they have a lot of shots, but they're just not converting. Chris Wood, let's take a look at his shot, Matt, and see. He had 6 shots in this game, all in very good chances, but look, 0.11, 0.04, 0.03, 0.0. The highest XG chance was 0.33. And obviously Chris Wood is renowned for his finishing ability, but today, when you're look how close he is there, and he's only got 0.13. It's just, for me, Nottingham Forest are just a complete avoid now, no matter what asset you're looking at, whether you're looking at an attacker or a defender, just a complete avoid. Sunderland, on the other hand, the 2 centre-backs here, Alderete and Mukiele, definitely. Also, I think Granit Xhaka is someone to look at. If we take a look at Isidore, how many shots did he have today? He had 2 shots, 0.16, 0.07. If you're just looking, I'm just thinking about if you're looking for a budget striker, obviously plays near enough 90 minutes. So his minutes are very good. But yeah, overall, I think Sunderland are a team which are going very much under the radar and one to definitely keep an eye on. And obviously, last up in our game weeks today, we've got Spurs and Wolves. I was so disappointed with this one because I had Christian Romero in there. Spurs just obviously nicked it at the last minute. Defcons for João Paulinho, and that was it. Wolves, on the other hand, Andre, John Arias, Montesi, Bueno, the other Bueno. Excuse me, I'm just taking a drink of water. So all of them lot hitting Defcon as well. And I think it just goes to show you that actually, you know what? Wolves defenders, if you're looking for like an odd cheap one, which maybe you don't want to play them every time, but you're looking just for the odd one, could be a viable shout. Wolves hitting Tottenham, very low XG. Let's take a look at the stats on here and see how many clearances and stuff they got. I think obviously with Spurs, they've kept a few clean sheets this season. Arguably a little bit lucky. Didn't even hit 1xG, but obviously got the goal. Wolves did hit 1xG. If we take a look at look at this, 41 clearances, 29 tackles. I mean, if you've got Wolves defenders for these sort of games, this is what they're going to do. And the thing is, there will be games that they literally have these sort of games where they're getting dominated for a lot of the time, but they will nick a 1-0 win against maybe some of the lesser opposition. And if you own the likes of Santiago Bueno, Hugo Bueno, if you own these type of guys at centre back for them, they will do really well for you. So yeah, for me, I don't think there's really too much to talk about on this game in particular. Spurs obviously started. The first 15 minutes was a little bit flat from both sides. Spurs then went to kick on, had a few chances. Wolves got the goal, I would say against run of play, but it wasn't really. It's sort of 10 minutes after the restart. Spurs then kicked on a little bit, got it very, very, very late on. I mean, Wolves probably should have had another goal at some stage in this game, but, it was a draw fair overall. If we take a look at the stats, 10 shots to 9, both had 3 on target. Probably, yes, you'd probably argue that it was a fair result in the end. But yeah, I think for me, if I'm looking at assets from these sort of teams, I think Van de Ven and Romero are fine holds for now. I think long term, you're probably going to want to get rid of them. In terms of the attack, there's just too much rotation there for Spurs, so I probably wouldn't bother. Obviously, Richarlison's getting the 90th minutes now, but when Solanke's back and playing, I think them two will rotate. For Wolves, Strand Larson, let's take a look at him and see how he got on. Strand Larson, 1 shot, it's 0.06. It's just not good enough. I think it's not worth taking up a striker spot on someone who's 6.5. If you're looking for a cheap option to free up money, I would just drop it all the way down to an Isidore or a Lyle Foster from Burnley and just take the 5 million and just use that money elsewhere. So yeah, that is all the games for today. I want to quickly just show you guys what my team is looking like for next week. Just before, obviously, I'll bring a transfer plans out video tomorrow, being Monday, but I just want to show you guys, excuse me, what my team is looking like for next week. So currently, it's actually set up in a back five. Donnarumma against Brentford away. Do you know what? Before Brentford played yesterday, I would have said that this probably would have been a clean sheet for City. But now, after watching how they played yesterday, I'm actually not too sure. We've got double up of Arsenal, Gabriel and Saliba. Obviously, Graham Potter has been sacked from West Ham, but I do expect Arsenal to still hold that down and keep a clean sheet. Senesi at home to Fulham. Now, it is a Friday night fixture, I do believe, for next week. Let's just double check. Yeah, so Bournemouth against Fulham for Friday night. We haven't got any Monday games. So obviously, I'll be playing against Senesi and Anderson together. So I think the only real decision I have to make on this team is, do I go for? I'm not going to play Jared Bowen against Arsenal because I've got two Arsenal defenders. Do I put Caicedo in for Anderson? We'll talk about it at the end. Obviously, Romero playing against Leeds, he's going to play. The midfield three, Reinders, Brentford, Semenyo, Fulham, Bruno against Sunderland. They're all fine. Gyökeres and Haaland up front. Now, I have got the captaincy currently on Gyökeres. Let's just change that to Haaland right now because I think we'll probably end up staying there anyway. I think the only real decision I've got to make about this team next week is, do I make who starts basically? Is it Caicedo or Anderson? Now, I think Caicedo against Liverpool will probably end up he will hit DEFCON. So he's going to start with a base 4 points, right? 2 for playing, 2 for the DEFCON. The question is, do I expect Bournemouth to score against Fulham? Bournemouth are at home, and I think I probably do, which means Anderson's base will probably hit 2 for playing. He'll probably hit DEFCON in this game, 2 for. So they're both on 4 points. The question is, do we think that Bournemouth are going to score 2 goals in this game, which would give Anderson a -1, which would obviously take him down to 3 points? I think that there's a possibility of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to move these 2 out, and I'm going to start Caicedo. I don't think I'm going to be making any transfers this week. I think I'm going to roll for next week. That was always the plan anyway. So we go into game week 8 with 2 free transfers. As I said at the start of the video, we did get a green arrow this week up to 2.1 million. Hopefully, fingers crossed. How much? Yeah, 600,000 gain. Hopefully, fingers crossed. With today's games that we will see, a clean sheet from Arsenal against Newcastle. Gyökeres, if he could get on the score sheet, would be wonderful. And then Jared Bowen as well. Everton on Monday night. I always like having a player play in the last fixture, whether it's the last game on Sunday or the Monday fixture. So just a little tip for you. Because for me, I just look at it as that if I'm having a bad game week and, I need a little bit of hope, or I need, someone to try and rely on to save my game week, it's always nice having someone play in that fixture. So yeah, that is just a little rundown of how my team got on this week. Did a little recap of how everyone got on and how teams got on in their games. If you guys do like this style of video, please let me know. And yeah, I'll carry on doing them. This was just a little trial run just to see. I don't actually know how long this video has gone on for, so apologies if I've been rambling. I tried to keep the little sections for each team as short as possible. But like I said, this is all live. The first time I've done this. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy this style of video, let me know, and I will just carry on doing it every week. But as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, Monday, with a transfer plan. We've got FPL challenge on Tuesday, FPL bus Wednesday, final team selection and key questions Thursday, and then of course the Friday deadline it's Bournemouth and Fulham kicking us off. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.